What up, y'all? A little bit on the chilly side, which I've been here long enough that I'm acclimated, so chilly means it's probably 53, 54 out here. Which, if I'm in Michigan, I'm thinking that's damn near 60. But, I'm not. It's been a gorgeous day. It's mid October, so it's not incredibly warm, but it's been dry all day, which is probably the main concern. Finished helping my buddy do some shit and then smoking a blunt. Decided to go for a cruise on my bad motor scooter. I'm fucking loving that thing. I've put 200 plus miles on it since I got it. Been a couple weeks. Had a slow leak on the rear tire. It would go flat in about 12 hours time. And I've got tubes in my pannier bag on the other side there. Two of them. I was trying not to replace them because taking that back wheel off is a bit of a pain in the ass. The motor and the electronics and everything being in there. So I squirted some sealant in there, and it's been holding air ever since. We'll see how long it lasts. I've had it up to probably 35 a couple of times. And even though those tires are fat, they're not real big around. They're only 20-inch tires. So 30 feels like you are hauling ass. 35 feels like you're on the edge of losing control. That's a 2018 Rad Mini. The only drawback of it is the controller is no longer in service. Hey, bud. Somebody coming to say hi. You'd be surprised how many times I get this spot to myself this time of day. Not every day, but this time of year more so than any other. Some nice roses that grow all along this bank. There used to be more of them, but where that yellow tape is, a big old sinkhole opened up. Anyway, I just thought I'd share a little bit of my afternoon with you. Sit here and watch the sun go down. Yeah, so the controller on that thing, if that goes out, I can't get a replacement, which makes this piece, which is the controller, and this piece, which is the input for the controller, useless. But everything else I can still use. The controller's in this box down here, right here. So if that goes bad, I have to buy a new controller and then the controls for the controller. See, the motor's back here in the back wheel. It's a Bafang 750. But if I get the new controller, this is I want to say it's a 15 amp. No, it's a 20 amp controller. The only other one I could get to go in there is a 35 amp controller. And it's weird how these motors work. It's a 750 watt motor, but only because the controller is limited to 750 watts. The motor itself will go up to 2,000, 2,300 watts. So by putting a new controller in it, I'll be able to get almost 2,000 watts out of it. Which I'm not that concerned about going faster, but there's some big hills around here that it sure would be fun to not pedal up. Pedaling's really easy, but it's aerobic as fuck. I like twisting the throttle way better. So pretty pleased with this bike overall. It's got a heavy duty rack on the front that's aftermarket. This thing I added on. This is an air pump, electric air pump that I added on. Tail rack basket. There's a thing that sits in here that's a waterproof pack. And a little tool pannier on the side. It folds. This part of the frame comes undone over here. The bike folds in half, and then these all fold down to fit into a little unit you can stick in the back of the car. I think this is vegan leather. Nice aftermarket rear views. This is the twist throttle up here, and then this switches between pedal and throttle. Shimano gearing, nice headlight. I got an extra headlight just because I had one, and more light's better, right? Disc brakes, which it's a heavy bike, and it goes fairly fast for a bicycle, 20, 25 mile an hour, and I tend to go that speed whenever possible. So I'm going through brakes, but a good set of ceramic brakes is around $40. And I think I can make them last 6 months at a time, and it's fucking super easy to do. Just a few screws and pull it apart, pop some shit out, pop some other shit back in. No special wrenches or C-clamps or not like working on a car at all. I'm hoping the memory on this will last long enough to get at least the beginning of the sunset for you guys. Yeah, I think the bike was $1,800 brand new. This was $110. This was $110. The rear rack. These I think you said were like $40. I paid like $40 for this battery powered air pump. 20 for the lock. 20 for this. I got this for $11 on the Amazon deal day. So that's a real good deal, and that's waterproof and pretty sturdy. So it's about well over $2,000 worth of bike. It had just under 1,000 miles on it when I got it. And I only paid $700 for it. Which is 3/4 of my monthly income. that's what you call a tight month. Now, I got a buddy loan me the cash, and I'm paying him back $100 at a time. So whenever I get my disability check or make a little money on the side, which I never ever do, Uncle Sam. Fucker. Yeah, as usual, I should have brought my good camera because it looks like it's going to be a pretty sunset. I almost went back and got it just before I started this video. I'd be back by now. Yeah, if the trunk of your car is big enough, that bike could fit in it. I mean, your average station wagon or minivan, little sport utility things. It'll fit right in the rear compartment, easy peasy, once it's folded up. It does with all the gear on it, weigh about 100 pounds. Which don't seem like a lot till you're trying to move it around. I think if I get a different one or a new one after this, I'm going to get one that's more bicycle-like. Because that riser handlebar style is kind of unwieldy. It's okay at speed, like cruising on the highway or whatever, but low speed mobility is pretty tricky. It's kind of like pushing a high-low or a pallet jack around when you're at low speed. These tires go for between 5 and 30 pounds. The front one was at 22. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to pump it up to 30 and see what it feels like. And it rubs on the fender. So I adjusted the fender about 6 times and it still rubbed on it when you took corners. So I just fucking let the air out of it until it quit rubbing. It's back down to about 25 now. 24 and a half, 25. I've had this phone about 3 years now and it's working fine. But if there's one thing that's going to make me consider upgrading phones, it's just to have a good camera, because this one's kind of weak. It sure is pretty. Anyway, I'm going to stop and get some pictures. Then I'm going to go home and eat dinner. Thanks for hanging out, guys.